Welcome to the Daily Swole. Welcome to the Daily Swole. Yeah, You like my setup? I know everyone's checking out my. Look at what I had to do. I had to put books, but I got my science books up there, so it actually doubles as some bookends. Got my triple setup. The hearts are flowing in. Come on in, everyone. Gaines, Tommy, what's up, you fucking stud? Let's get people in the house. Let's get people. Hey, Tommy, recognize some of these books over here? I got you think I need another Essentials of Personal Training? I have 3 of them already. I don't need any more of that shit. What's up, dudes? Okay, let's get into the steak of this bad boy. We're talking carb cycling today. I am on Periscope, so I'm talking to you homies over there. You guys are looking good. And I'm also on Busker. So if you don't know what Busker is, it's kind of like Periscope, only sans the trolls. So it's actually a really cool app. I'm on that a lot. So download Busker for Apple and check it out because I do a lot of really casual stuff. I broadcast live fitness classes on Busker. I also do live yoga classes on Busker. So check that out if you want to see a yoga class later today. Are we ready? Yeah? Come on. Tell me that you're ready. Tell me that you love me. Let me try moving this actually before we begin. I think that's going to be, oh yeah. I like the taste of that better. It just tastes better. It's like grass-fed beef. It just tastes better. Okay, get some glare on there. What's up, Mikey, you troll? What's going on? Yeah. So it pays not to let everyone know how little you know about exercise and health by making comments like that. So it's all right. No loss. It's okay. We are going to get started. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, everyone, to the Daily Mother Swole. Thank you so much for joining. We will be doing some Q&A at the end, so stay tuned for this episode at the end with the Q&A. You're going to love it. Welcome on Busker. Welcome on Periscope. Welcome. So we are talking today about carb cycling. Now, I know a lot of you love your carbs, as I do, but let's talk a little bit about what carb cycling is. In general, you might be familiar with certain diets and certain diet plans. Carb cycling is alternating your high carb days with low carb days. Now, there's a few different ways to do this, and there are certain purposes for doing this, and it could be something that you need if you want to build muscle or lose weight and get in the best shape of your life or make a change. So if you're plateauing, if you're having an issue with weight loss, if you're having an issue with muscle gain, we'll talk about that because this is a great way that can stoke the metabolism and it can really shock the body. Remember, you have to try what's right for you. You won't know unless you try it. So it's not as easy as just saying, hey, carb cycling works, give it a shot. You have to try it, you have to see if you like it. So high carb days, what I did was I took these talking points are from bodybuilding.com. And the reason why I don't necessarily support bodybuilding.com or what they believe in, however, I wanted to kind of hit on certain points and either agree or kind of embellish a little bit based on what they might have on their site. Because a lot of people go there. A lot of you might go to bodybuilding.com for your information. I see a lot of people posting on that. They get a lot of hits. It's pretty much like the hub for supplements and for a lot of these blog type articles. And sometimes there are people that are writing these articles that really don't know completely about the issue. So I want to make sure that it's being targeted, it's being addressed. Okay, first thing, high carb generally on high or heavy training days. If you can schedule it this way, that's fine, where you increase your carbohydrate intake on heavy training days. That would generally be beneficial to the body. But if you are actually trying to build muscle or you're shredding fat while maintaining muscle mass, a lot of times those heavy training days are every day. So you're gonna have to go low carb sometimes on a heavy training day. So that's not a requirement if you can keep it that regulated, if you can keep it that consistent and only do heavy or heavy weights on a day where you're doing high carb, that's convenience. That's kind of works out for you. But if you train like I do, and if you train like a lot of people that see great results do, and I said this yesterday in my personal training, you have to train hard. It's hard fucking work. You have to work hard. You have to train hard daily. So, you know, doing a high carb on a high train day is just a convenience. That's a nice lap of luxury. But the world doesn't always work like that, and your training schedule might not. So don't put too much stock in that one, just because you might be training high and heavy, and it just could be a low carb day for you, and that's the lay of the land. Okay, there's only 7 days a week, so it's not even, so your rotation might not be exactly perfect. All right, makes sense? Good. Number 2 on their list was water retention. Now this is true. Now carbs have to do with water retention because carbs bring or reduce water, and the reason for that is the binding. It's on a chemical level. So when you cut carbs, let's say you're trying to lose weight, this is a reason why a lot of low carb diets don't work, which is why carb cycling could be good for you, and we'll get into that. If you are going low carb, let's say you cut out carbs and you're like, you know what, I'm done with carbs, I want to lose some weight. You cut carbs, you're going to lose water fast. Now why does that happen? Why would you lose water fast? Because when you lose carbs, when you cut carbs, water depletes. Water will go with the carbohydrates. So this is why people get scammed. They get twisted because they drop carbs, they lose a lot of weight, and they're like, oh wow, this is working. Well, yes and no. When you lose weight, you have to lose water too. So you're going to lose everything. You're trying to lose weight, you're going to lose water along with the fat. So, you know, rapid weight loss at the beginning is normal, but it's also part of the process. It's not a fluke. If you lose weight, you're losing water, you're losing fat at the same time. Fat's not dry, it has water in it, so it's a process of losing fat. When you are cutting carbs, you lose a lot of water really quickly. So this is a scam in a way. Your body is kind of tricking you, saying, oh, we're getting rid of water. Hey, I lost 10 pounds in a week. That's not fat. That's 95% of water. People don't lose that much fat in a week. It doesn't happen that way. You're losing water. Okay, your body can really only lose a couple pounds of fat a week healthily. If you want to try to keep it off, it's a pound or 2 per week, pretty much max. You might see a couple of weeks where you might elevate that a little bit, but it depends on how extreme your diet is. It depends also how much weight you have to lose. Okay, so understand that. When you cut carbs, you're cutting water. So understand that if you're cutting carbs, that initial water or weight loss is going to be water, and you have to be careful when you come back off a low carb diet. If you're doing it for a longer period, a lot of times that weight comes back, people rebound, they get discouraged, they stop exercising. So they go too extreme with the low carb, they don't balance out that low carb process properly. Another reason why low carb or carb cycling could be good for you. And when I say carb cycling, I'm not talking about eating a donut, riding a bike. I'm talking about alternating higher and lower carb days. Okay? All right. So let's go. Also, when you're cutting carbs, some people increase protein too much. They do way too much protein. Cut carbs, increase protein, and protein takes 7 times the amount of water to digest. So you're putting a lot of stress on the body if you're not drinking enough water. So especially when you do carb cycling, you got to chug tons of water. You should be drinking a lot of water anyway. Speaking of which, let's have a little sip of dooski. Thanks for those hearts on Periscope. Thanks for the support. You guys are fucking awesome. Totally cool. Net carbohydrates. When you're doing low carb or high carb, make sure that you're getting, this is in general for health, make sure you're getting complex carbohydrates. Now what that means is complex carbohydrates, fibrous carbs, soluble fiber, things that are going to slow the absorption of sugar into the bloodstream. And this is also referring to low GI carbohydrates. This is important because a lot of people don't understand the difference between different types of carbohydrates. It's not as basic as, oh, fruit, potatoes, it's a little bit different because GI is glycemic index. Glycemic index means the impact of food, a carbohydrate, or anything it has on your bloodstream. Super important. Bloodstream impact. Okay? Look it up. GI glycemic index. Foods that are higher on the glycemic index, that have a higher number on the glycemic index, means they get into your bloodstream quicker. They get in there quicker. And what that can do is spike insulin release from the pancreas. Insulin gets released and absorbs and starts picking up like taxis. They start picking up more sugar in the bloodstream. And then they shuttle around to the muscles. And if you're not exercising, if the stores are already filled up, it's like, oh shit. The cab's like, I have nowhere to drop these people off. Let me put them back over here. And it gets stored as fat. So if you're eating foods that are too high in a glycemic index, like sugar, white processed foods, those things are going to have a higher glycemic index, have a higher impact on blood levels, and you're going to tend to store more body fat. So understand that. You can have those a little bit more around a workout period because your body will be using glucose. But people that eat those regularly, drinking soda, all that stuff throughout the day, the problem with that is you are going to spike insulin and you are going to store more body fat. Complex carbs, sweet potatoes, brown rice, oatmeal, those are better. Those have a lower glycemic index in general. Just don't add a lot of brown sugar to your sweet potatoes. To your oatmeal and things like that. All right. They also are saying decrease fat when you're increasing carbohydrates. I'm not a big fan of that's if you're playing around and trying to keep a certain caloric limit. I'm more of a fan of just playing with carbs. Carb cycling, you kind of keep protein and fat more the same, and you play with your carbs. So for me, I eat high fat, moderate protein, and then when I want to cut or want to adjust, I just play around with the carbs. I either eat more carbs or lower carbs. Carb cycling for me, I'm not a big fan of it personally, because guess what? I tried it, and for me, I feel like I can maintain, I can just adjust gradually and decrease, and I can see the change in my body. That's just me, and like I said, if you want to try it, then do so. I can sit here and talking head and blah, 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 and tell you all day long what I think you should be doing. Or, hey, do this will work for you. That's bullshit. I'm not gonna bullshit you. And I will always say this on my podcast. I'll always say this on Busker. I'll always say this on Periscope. I'll say this on Instagram. I'll say this on Anchor. I'll say this on Snapchat. I'll say this on YouTube. I'll say this on my website. I'll say this on Facebook. I'm everywhere. I will say this all across the board on all my platforms, all at Swolenormous, by the way. I will say that you have to try for yourself. You have to try for yourself. That's the uniqueness of human nature. I could sit here and tell you A, B, C all day long, and your body's thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It doesn't compute for everyone. Okay? You do a test on 100 people. Oh, this is the way of the world. It's 95%. Well, what about those 5? Talk about 7 billion people. That's like 500 million people you're talking about. That's a big difference. Or a million, or that's a big difference. That's a big percentage when you talk on a large scale. People are different. People are different genetically. Even in the same gene pool, people are different. You and your family, you all have very similar genes. And guess what? Some of you like sweet food. Some of you like spicy food. Some of you like sad movies. Some of you like horror movies. There's so many different varieties. You have to think about that. The human body is like that on a cellular level, on a digestive level, on an elemental level, on a physical level, on a spiritual level. The body is so different in every little aspect. Think about how different you are from your family members. Your family, you have the same fucking genes. Think how different you are from people that literally have the same genes as you. Okay? Think about how different you are from your mom, from your dad. You have similarities, but think how different you are from your grandparents or from your brother and your sister. Some brothers and sisters are completely different. My sister looks completely different from me. She has dark hair, she's short, she has dark eyes. I have blonde hair, I have lighter eyes. I look completely different. Completely different. You would not know that we're brother and sister. You wouldn't know that. We have a lot of similar personality things, but we look completely different, and we also like different things. We have different interests, and we came from the same two people. So you have to understand that your body is different, and different people are different. You have to try it. You have to try it. The good thing is, it's not like I'm telling you to try heroin. I'm not telling you to try steroids. I'm telling you, you can cycle your carbs. High carb days, lower carb days. It's simple. It's simple. Yeah, check me out on Busker. Yeah, get off Periscope. I agree. No hate, no worries, no worries. Weekly total calories. So you can do, play with your carbs up and down, high, low, and there's different ways to do that. I'm gonna let you know the different ways to do that in a second. But you can keep, if you're doing metrics, if you're guiding or like gauging your calories for the week, you can keep your calories in 3, 4, 5, 600 for the total week. And if you're calculating, do that. Don't worry so much about hitting it right on the nose. But if you're looking to lose weight, you can kind of keep your total weekly consumption of calories around the same. And that's important when you think of carb cycling, when you think of your total weekly calories. There's a different way to do carb cycling. You could do 2 low carb days and then 1 high carb day. So you could cut carbs low for 2 days and then go high on the third one. Now, high carb does not mean pizza, bagels, bullshit. Again, everyone's different. Some people can really get away with pounding pizza on a high carb day. But don't forget, that's high carb, that's high shit. It's high trash, it's high, there's dairy on it. So, it's not high carb day. Do not think of high carb day as an excuse. Especially if you're trying to lose weight, high carb day is not an excuse to eat junk food. Junk food has a lot of other things that are going to hurt you. Yeah, dirty gains, that's dirty gains, sloppy, nasty, whorish gains. But that's, it's fun to be a whore sometimes. It's fun to be a food whore, to be a gain whore. That's fun. Everyone loves pizza. Everyone loves chips and salsa. Everyone loves that. And sometimes you got to do that. You got to enjoy your life. What are you never going to enjoy yourself? You're going to be in fitness and just never have fun, never have a beer. I'm never going to have pizza again. I'm in shape. I want abs. Well, have fun having abs while you're like in your 30s, 40s, and maybe 50s, and then dying and never having pizza again. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself. So there's different ways to carb cycle. You can also do 3 low, 1 high. You could also do, a good friend of mine does 4 low, 1 high, and then 2 moderate. So you can play around with it. I would try different things, but understand that your body doesn't adapt really quickly to this. You have to give it a chance. You might feel really shitty when you first start doing carb cycling because your body's not used to going low on carb and being more fat adapted. So you have to be understanding and give your body some time to adapt. You have to try this stuff for like a couple weeks at a time in a row before you see change. So don't do like 1 week, 2 low and 1 high, and then it doesn't work, and then 3 days later, let me do 3 high. Give yourself a couple months. I know. You have to give yourself at least a few weeks to see that change, and you have to monitor it, and you have to be strict with it. If you kind of go off the rails and, I didn't do it this week, but I did it today, I'll do low carb. It's not when you feel like it. You got to be consistent. It's like an assembly line. You got to have a pattern, and your body will be more efficient. If you just go random stuff all the time, your body will just kind of lock up and stalemate. Trust me, you have to be consistent. With anything you do, you have to be consistent so your body can adapt. Okay, what about alcohol? That was a great question. I just asked on Periscope. You asked a couple minutes ago, so I appreciate your patience. What about alcohol? I think you know the answer to that. If it depends on what you're trying to do. If you don't care, if you're bulking, or if you don't care that much about having, a certain aesthetic physique, then drink alcohol. If you want to drink alcohol, you don't really care about your aesthetic, physique, but you want it to have less of an impact than normally would, then drink it after your workout. Keep it closer to after your workout rather than before. There's a study, I forget who did it, but I remember, and I kept this in my wallet in college. I ripped it out of a magazine, and it said that they did a study at some college or some university. It said the amount of muscle, it said muscle growth is affected 22% or 25%, or maybe it was 28, something in the 20s, 28% the day after a night of heavy drinking. So if you work out, go out, and then go drinking and just, you're drinking a ton, the next day, like your body, your mass, like your body repair is inhibited like a quarter, like 25%. Okay? You can check that out. You can look up that research. I haven't touched that, but I remember I saw that and I kept it back in my head. I ripped it out and I put that in my wallet. So I was in college and I would think about that. So let's say people work out, people train on a Friday and then go out and drink all night. But a quarter of that development or that result or that benefit from recovering from that workout is affected by the drinking. So it's up to you. It depends on how serious you take it and what kind of results you want. But yeah, drinking is going to affect it. And having a beer, in terms of calories, there are 4 calories per gram of protein and carbs and 9 calories per gram of fat. Does anyone know how many calories per gram of alcohol? I've been training for about 13 years, like hard. 13 years? Yeah, like a beast. 12 maybe. Does anyone know how many calories per gram of alcohol? Tommy, I know you're in here somewhere. I'm not going to keep the tension too long. 7. So there's more calories in alcohol, almost as much as fat in a gram of alcohol. Okay? So 7 calories. And remember that it's not just that the calories, it's the effect. It's the effect on hormones. It's the effect on release. It's the effect on the reaction to the alcohol. It's not just as simple as, there's calories, 7 calories per gram coming in. There's also the effects it has on hormones and binding to certain nutrients in the body and affecting the rebuilding process. So you have to understand that too. And alcohol also, when you're drinking at night, affects the quality of sleep, which affects the growth hormone and testosterone production and all that stuff. So you have a lot of different elements, and how they actually tested and got that number, it's irrelevant. It's stuff that none of us are probably going to understand, but that concept makes sense. And that number, specific to that study, but it also makes sense and applies. Plus beer goggles. Yeah, not to mention the other side effects of drinking too much. Beer goggles. That's misery in itself. So keep the questions coming. These are great. So carb cycling, try it. See if you like it. If you're bulking, you got to eat more food. But this could be a great thing for someone that's struggling with their diet, struggling to lose weight. Now, it's a benefit because some people like to flush out the water, but they love to eat, carbohydrates. So it's kind of a way to treat and reward yourself. But for me, when I do low carb for a couple days, I don't feel good. I feel flat. I don't like the results that I see. It just doesn't feel right for my body. But you have to try it. Okay. From Tommy Guns, quote, your opinion on how long someone should be on a surplus before going on a cut. So you're talking about bulking. You're talking about, how long someone should bulk before they cut. Depends. It depends on how your body reacts. You won't know until you try. It depends on if you're trying to cut for a certain event. Some bodybuilders stay lean all year round because they like to it depends on how much you're competing, for example. And I'll use the bodybuilders as an example because they're the ultimate bulking and cutting. So if you are bulking, or if you're on like a bodybuilding bulk, you might bulk for 6 months. If you're a top level bodybuilder and you're just competing for the Olympia every year, you have one competition all year. So you can kind of bulk and just eat and kind of chill with your training for 3-4 months. Because a lot of you don't know this. They take a lot of steroids, but a lot of bodybuilders, they don't work out for a couple months. Or they go really light because they're stressing their body from all the, competing and heavy lifting all the time. So they'll only start maybe training, 6 months out from a competition. They'll take a couple months off. They have to. But they can cut, for 4 to 6 months before the competition. They can do a long, slow cut to maintain their muscle mass. But a lot of bodybuilders, they compete, to make money and to get their pro cards or qualify for the Olympia or different. These are like the top level bodybuilders, or even lower level. They compete more often, every couple months. So they have to kind of always be relatively lean. So they could do like a 4-week or 8-week cut. So it depends on what your goal is. If you're not competing and you're just cutting for yourself, like how long you should bulk for, you bulk until you are done bulking, until you're happy with like the weight that you're at, and you do your body fat assessments and you're like, okay, I have about this much lean muscle mass. Understand that when you're cutting, if you're doing any kind of cut, even if it's a slow cut, you're going to lose some muscle in the process. So you have to try it. That's a whole long thing, but the faster you cut, the more muscle you're going to lose. That's why usually people, when they diet, they do like a 16-week, that's 4 months of gradual cutting, but you'll preserve more muscle mass. No problem, dude. Good question. That's a great question. And that was on topic too, so I appreciate that. It wasn't like, why is your hair so long? It's kind of like useless questions. What else? Anything else on carbs, carb cycling, getting huge, making your titties bounce on camera? Boom, 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 boom. All right. I'm going to get blocked. He's making his titties bounce again. Take him off the air. Block him. Hashtag just a tip on Busker. That's my just a tip. Just give me a tip. Like money tip. If you don't know what Busker is, you can tip and you can donate. Everyone on Periscope is like, all the trolls are like, did you say tip? Did he say tip? So let's do some more Q&A. I will sign off from the Daily Swole on the podcast. Thank you so much. So stay right here. Stay with me on Periscope. Stay with me on Busker. I'm going to do some more casual Q&A. But on the podcast, on SoundCloud, and on YouTube. Remember, you can find me all over social media. I'm on Snapchat. I do all my updates on Snapchat at Swolenormous. I am also on Busker, and the reason why I mention that even while I'm on Busker is because most people don't know what Busker is. It's an app where it's live streaming. It's like Periscope. It's like Facebook Live, but you can donate. You can purchase things in-app. It's freaking amazing, and the quality is superb. So check it out. It's a brand new app. It's only about 2 weeks old, so not a lot of people are on it, but it's great. It's a great community. If you don't like the trolling on Periscope, go to Busker, and they monitor it. It's a great, great app. It's only for iPhone right now, for Apple, but you can also download on your iPad. If you go into the App Store and you click iPhone only, you can still have it on your iPad like I do. So I like Busker, and I broadcast live workouts on Busker. So if you want to see my live workouts, meaning I post when I do a group class. I did it yesterday. I did a live yoga class. I broadcast my yoga class, and I will do that again. I'm going to do that today. I'm doing a hip opener class at 4 p.m. Eastern time, and I will broadcast that on Busker. So if you like casual, I was out there on the porch today for an hour just talking to people on Busker. So check it out. I am always on Busker all the time, like randomly. I'll just be chilling. So check it out, and thank you for joining me. Thank you for being a part of the carb cycling. Ooh, I almost forgot. Dad, they almost forget. You say, how, Daddy? How did you forget? Well, if you want the ultimate bulk, if you want to know what I do before my workouts, if you want to get super swole like Swolenormous, this is all bullshit, of course. You have to try it. My form of carb cycling is eating Sour Patch Kids. I just licked the bag. The bag tastes sour. This is my form of, this is my treat. I eat healthy all the time, and I haven't been doing a pre-workout, but guess what? I just have a little bit of this during my workout, and even when I don't eat carbs at all during the day, and I have this, I get a great pump. I get a great glucose rush during my workout. I love it. It's like my little treat. But here's my thing. I don't eat these at any other time when I work out. Swedish fish? Swedish, really? Swedish fish? Does that look like Swedish fish? Do I look like I have no style? Swedish fish. They're all red. They all taste the same. It's like Twizzlers, but flattened to fish form. The Swedish fish are like interesting for the first two, and then it's like, the fuck am I eating this for? Sour Patch Kids have colors. They have taste. They rip your tongue apart. It's extreme. Sour Patch Kids are extreme. They do damage to your body. You know, my tongue is probably just, my tongue is like sandpaper, just adapted from Sour Patch Kids. I have like a separate digestive system just for Sour Patch Kids. The whole Game of Thrones thing going. That's true. That's true. What the hell is Swedish fish? It's not worth your time. No, Sour Patch Kids. So I do my little carb loading. So thank you everyone for joining. Remember, stay online, stay live. I'm just going to turn off the podcast and everyone's going to know what this is going on in a while. So stay online. It's almost Game of Thrones Day. That's right. Oh, it's tomorrow. Yeah, stay tuned for another Game of Thrones edition, which is pretty much a daily Swole with just more Game of Thrones, but maybe I'll wear a costume. One of these days I'm going to get my costume ready. I have to set it up. It's just so hot outside. I didn't do it last time. But maybe I'll dress up tomorrow. I'll do something, a Game of Thrones, a special. We'll see. So thank you so much for joining. And remember, find me on all that social media. Check it out. I also have these up same day as a podcast on SoundCloud. Dress up like Tyrion. Yeah, well, I'll just get on my knees then. Thank you so much for joining. And thank you so much for watching episode 15 of The Daily Mother Swole. Thank you for joining. I appreciate it. Rock on, get your pump on, get your lift on. Enjoy your weekend. Peace the heck out. Questions. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Like a rhinestone cowboy. Doot, doot. Yeah, so Busker people, yes. Yes, look at this. This is like the biggest thing on Busker. 5 people. It's like I'm blowing up. I'm the most famous person in the world. Is everyone... Dude, Steven, you're on here too. Good for you, man. People are listening and actually joining. Retired and joining. Cindy, welcome. United with Trump. Trump train. Trump train. I like that. I like that. All right, cool. I don't get into... Well, actually, we got into politics a little bit earlier. And we kind of came to the decision that I don't really care. Either way, but welcome everyone. Blamed Cat. I think you said something about your wife or someone turned me on to you. Totally cool, bro. Thank you. So, I like all these hearts. Who's giving me all the brown hearts? My daughter wants to know why you have no shirt on. The white James Harden. God, I sure hope I'm not the white James Harden. He's a little bit fugly. What are you trying to say? Your daughter wants to know why I have no shirt on. Why not? Because, one, I live in Miami and it's like 98 degrees outside. So most of you I know are posting things on Snapchat where it says like 55 degrees. Yeah, it's been hot as balls for weeks. Yeah, because I can. Exactly. It's my... You don't like it? I can... You don't like my no shirt? Then there's... I don't know where the door is on Periscope. Like, there's the door. There's a... Just kidding. What do I do for work? What do you think? What do I do for work? I make gains. That's what I do for work. She's 8, haha, and she thinks boys are gross. Well, she's not wrong. She's just not, she's not wrong. Boys are gross. Not to mention the person who just signed him a busker. Hello, ass butt. That's a hell of a screen name. Hello, ass butt. Hello, ass butt. Ass butt. Was I in the military? No. I just love my country and I respect people that do serve because they protect my ability to sit here and do this and say whatever the hell I want about anything. So, cheers to the military. And whether or not you believe we should go to war and blah, 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 you have to respect people that do support and do protect. So, do I lift, bruh? Oh, boy, of course I do. Sunny 6 and Y, yep, I do lift. Smat ass. How old am I? I am 32. For those of you who live in Florida, 32. I'm going to be 33 in agosto. What is your current training split? Good question. What do I normally do for a workout? All right. My current training split is kind of whatever I want when I go to the gym. But I do generally, I'll do, chest and like a tricep pump, or I'll do chest and back. I separate my leg days. I do a hamstring day and a quad day. And I'm actually just starting to kind of get back into just working out more frequently no matter what, but just doing less volume. And I'm trying to do more often. I don't want to do once a week. I want to do more like every body part, like a 3-day split. And I put some tape on my necklace because, that little lapel mic knocks around sometimes. So I will be getting a boom mic that's coming in like in a day or two. So I'm going to have a nice whole podcast thing here. So the SoundCloud's going to be ridiculous. I'm going to do a lot more podcasting with that too. So other stories and other interviews and other things, not just at 12, will be online. So the Daily Swole might be more frequent, or there might be ones that are just podcast form, not live necessarily. So totally cool for that. So definitely follow me on SoundCloud. And I submitted to iTunes, so it has yet to be approved. It takes like a week. So check me out, soundcloud.com/Swolenormous. What's the point topic of your podcast? It's this. It's the audio. It was the audio from this. So it's the same audio until I cut it off in podcast form. So you can look at the other ones. If you missed it, if you're just finding me now, if you're just finding it now, you can go on there and listen to the other 14 that I've put up there. So some of them are awesome. So basically just you talking about nothing. No, basically not that at all. Everything has a point. I don't know if you're signing in just now. It's not nothing. So check it out. Talk educated. Speak with knowledge. Don't speak about things you don't know about. So I look like a gnome from Warcraft. Okay. A gnome. Like, because I'm short? Because I'm short. Because I'm sitting down. I'm not standing up, by the way. I'm sitting down. A gnome from Warcraft. This is why I cut off the podcast, because these questions just kind of go fucking off the rails, non-topic. Anything else about carb cycling, which is fine. I'll sit here and... Yeah, oh boy. See? That's the thing. Everyone on Busker, if you want information from Thor to Ragnar to... Yeah, that's true. That's true. Do I have 3 computers? No, I have 3 monitors. I have a triple monitor set up. I have a Mac, and then the monitors are just branched off. So it's a triple monitor setup. Want to see it? Na, 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 na. So I'll let that other one boot up. So it's all the same. That's a command center. Hell yeah, man. And if you're watching Busker, I had to lift up the desk, so that was epic. So yeah, so I got the monitors and I got all that stuff. So a little funny question. What is that answer? Yeah, so if you want broadcasts and stuff, I'm doing Periscope for now. I would rather just do Busker, but people are on Periscope. What happened to working out the back? What do you mean? What do you mean? What happened to working out the back? What are you talking about? Well, my training split, I talked for like 10 seconds. I didn't really go into depth with it. I split up the body parts. Of course I work my back. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it. You're double dipping. Muscles on the sides, like lats? Yeah, absolutely. Work every muscle. Every single muscle. You don't miss one. What BCAAs are good for you? Protein, food. I don't take BCAA supplements. If anything, I do something pre-workout. I don't take anything. I don't take any protein powder. None. You never see me taking protein powder. I'll make green shakes and stuff like kale, and I do like things, but I don't take Deca. Well, your choice. Do I track macros? No. You know what I'll do one of these days? I will, it's Thor's hammer, it's Mjolnir. I will take care of Jesse, go to the gym, get a good workout. I will, one of these days, I think that'd be a great, if you go on my YouTube channel, at Swolenormous, I have a series called Swole Motion. And it's kind of like little video clips for throughout the day. So I can, one of these days, maybe on here, I'll track my macros and actually see what I do eat, because I don't track. I just kind of know what works. No, I don't do CrossFit. And that's going to be another Daily Swole on why people generally should not be doing CrossFit, or why people think they should, or why people like it. But it's not bad. I mean, well, A lot of it is bad. Pro hormones, no, don't do that. Don't do that. You know, I would not recommend online steroids to anyone, but pro hormones are oral and your liver is processing all that shit. Don't touch that. Fucking pro hormones. Why? 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 If you're trying to, here's the thing. I'm not saying I'm the greatest in the world. If you don't look like me, like, you know, from training and eating right, then you're not ready for pro hormones or steroids or anything. You have to build up to your natural potential. Don't start taking this kind of shit when you just like, hey, I want to work, I want to get big, let me take something. You're going to fuck your body up and you're going to lose all your gains anyway when you go off it probably. Because you're not doing it right. You're not doing anything right. You have to build that foundation. You can't build a fucking skyscraper from the top down. You build it from the ground up. You have to eat healthy and you have to build your body up before, even just, no. Tommy got, well, how old are you? What are your stats? Test booster. Those things are bullshit. Those things are bullshit. Those things are over-the-counter ways to get around the illegality, and they use things like test stack, this, that, so people buy it like, oh, cool, it's like anabolics. No, it's not. The reason why people do steroids is because they fucking work. I'm not telling you to take it, but they work. They do. They do. If you get the right stuff and you do it the right way, yeah, it works. I'm not going to lie to you and say it doesn't work. I'm not going to recommend you take it, but it works. That's why people do it. Steroids work. Big surprise. You know, cocaine gets you high. Smoking weed gets you high. Steroid gets you big. Maybe. That's the thing. Drugs will kind of... The right stuff to take? No. Don't do it. I'm not going to recommend it. I'm not going to talk about the right stuff to take. On an individual level, you know, here's what I will say. I'm not trying to insult you, but yeah. If you're going to, that's your own decision. I'm not recommending that you do. If you did, it's not about, getting the cheap stuff and just going, let me take this. You need to really, really, really research. You need to get blood work done regularly. It's a lot of money. Because blood work is not cheap. And if you skip the blood work, then you don't really know what these things are doing to your body. And you can fuck up your recovery. You can damage yourself for life. You can really mess yourself up. You could take too much. You could not be taking enough. You could just be wasting your money and wasting your time because you're not doing it right. You might not need as much as you think you do. You might eat more. You need to really, if you're going to do it, you have to do it right. Do not rush it. Do not try to cut corners. It's like a tattoo. You're like, I could save up $500 for a tattoo, but let me just get this, $50 one. That's on your body for life, and it's going to look like shit. There's certain things you don't cheap out on. There's certain things you don't go half-ass on. And something like that, if you're going to do it, you got to do it right. And you got to put a lot of effort into the research and a lot of money into the blood work. And it's just, I don't know, man. That's up to you. I'm not going to recommend it. But they do work. If you use the right stuff, they work. I'm not going to lie. That's why people take them. That's why bodybuilders take them. Understand, too, those guys, the bodybuilders, they've been working out for 10, 15, 20 years. They work out hard, regularly. It takes a lot of time to build muscle like that. And they're not taking one steroid, man. They're not taking one steroid. They're not taking 2 steroids. I don't think a lot of people realize that. Like, they're taking steroids. Steroids are hormones. They're messengers. It's not like there's one steroid. There's not like one bulking steroid. There are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of different steroids. And guess what? The pro bodybuilders, no joke, they're using like 20 to 30 different things. Now, I'm not joking. 20 to 30, they're using a lot, and growth hormone, and insulin sometimes. They're using a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. And orals, and ancillaries. A lot. Most people think it's like, they're Rich Piana, that fucking guy. Do that. Look up Rich Piana. If you don't know who that is, look up that fucking ass clown. Look up that guy. I'm not talking about his personality. I'm not talking about, he's a cool dude, he's all tatted up. He has bigorexia. He's a freak of nature. He's an idiot. He's stupid. And I'm not saying he's stupid for saying and he's doing that stuff. Like, he looks like shit. Yeah, but a lot of people think he's cool and they look up to him. Rich Piana. Just look it up. Piana. He just posted. He posts his steroid cycle. Look at what this guy is taking. And my point of him being stupid is that not that he took steroids to begin with, that's a personal choice. Like I said before on like other formats on Anchor and on, YouTube and Twitter and all these things. You can go cliff diving. I said this in Daily Swole like 2 days ago. And it's on, you could check it out on the podcast or on YouTube. Podcast is already up. But you can go cliff diving if you want. Just don't force me to go with you. Don't force me to get into the risk. But the thing is, he already made it. He's popular. This is my thing. He's popular. He has his business. He doesn't have to work. He can self-maintain. And he's still trying to get bigger. Like, he's going to kill himself. He worked so hard or whatever to get, I mean, it's not easy to be, but that's what's popular now. You know, I'm here trying to give real information. This guy who's he's a tard. And he talks like, he doesn't know the first thing about, you hear how these guys talk. They just, oh yeah, and then you lift that, and then, yeah, man. He's got a ton of tattoos, and he's juiced, and he's on synthol. You know what synthol is? Yeah, thanks, man. Synthol is kind of like an inflation. It's like a silicone almost. You inject it into your muscles. Yeah, it's oil, and it sits there, and it makes you puffed up. That's why you can have these like ridiculous-looking arms where it's not even steroid arms. It's just like inflated balloon arms. Like that guy with those massive, really ridiculous. They inject it into their, yeah. It's just oil that fluffs up the muscle. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. It looks shitty. It looks shitty. So that's what these people do. But you can't go back from that. Rich Piana, he'll never look like a human being. He looks like a fucking gorilla. He looks like a gorilla. And some people like to look like gorillas. Some people want to. Oh, the Buskers kind of slipping. Hold on a second, guys. Hold on. Oh. My iPad stand is taking a shit, so. Yeah, that's not working. So I'm going to. Here's some Planet of the Apes. We might as well have been. Hey, you know what we're going to do? I'm going to everyone say hi. Say hi to Busker. This is what Busker looks like. So, yeah. Any other questions? I'm about to head out, but I appreciate the support. So I do this every day at 12 noon Eastern time. So whatever time zone you're in, whatever, it's 12:45 here. 12:45. So wherever you are, wherever that 45 is, or whatever you are now, 45 minutes earlier. I do it every day. So set your schedules. 12 noon Eastern time. It's New York City time if you want to do the math. So wherever time zone you're in, because hello from France. I don't know what time it is in France, but at 12 o'clock noon Eastern time, New York City time, I do Daily Swole. And I also, if you want to download Busker, I'm on Busker like all the time at different times of day. So I do random stuff on Busker. I don't just post Periscope up like that. I haven't done that yet. I'm not really sure if I want to do Periscope like that. But yeah. Cool, dude. I appreciate it. Yeah. Blame Cow. You're just going back and forth. You're on Busker. You're just bouncing back and forth. Yeah. No, I mean, I want to give real information. So I'm not going to lie to you. If I know about something, I'll tell you. If I don't, I can research it and I can get back to you. If I, like steroids, they, for example, they work, but I'm not going to tell you to take them. So, yeah, follow me on everything. The SoundCloud is great because I get these podcasts I'm going to put up now. I get the audio. In quicker than the video. I'm up on YouTube. I just put up number 10. So 11 is fucked up because the video didn't record on Periscope. So I had to record the recording. So it was a little bit wavy. So if you want to watch the video for 11, it's a little bit shitty, but you can still watch it. But the podcast is up. So the audio is like, the video is like, but it happens. It's a live broadcast. Things happen. So the live broadcast will be up, but on YouTube, the video are a few behind. But the audio goes up right away. So I'm going to put this up on SoundCloud right now. SoundCloud. Okay? It's on SoundCloud. So take care, Busker. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Put that over here. Hold on. No, I'm still here for a second. No, I haven't. No, I haven't gone to Iron Addicts. But I know that all the clowns were there. the circus, Piana and Dana Lynn and all those generally F-tards were there, the banes of the fitness industry. This is that's like the social media scam, like the celebrity and the false idol type things. So the problem, and I'll get into this, the problem with like this kind of mentality, like these people that juice, is the fake natty. Watch number 11. Listen to, and then the video sucked, so that I'm shitty about that. But the audio is great. It was called Fake Natties, Adobe Gains, and Militant Vegans. That was a hell of an episode. Number 11 is the longest one. It's like an hour. But listen to the podcast. SoundCloud.com/Swolenormous. Okay? SoundCloud. You might even be able to see that in my profile here on Periscope. but number 11. And the problem is the people that are, popular, for the wrong reasons, and they deny their steroid use because of sponsorships. So they juice like crazy. I'm gonna say a lot of shitty people in the fitness industry. Yeah, they have a huge platform, and the responsibility is there. But that's also opinion. It's also the freedom for them to do what they want, and it's also what the public wants. Because if people realize and they stop following, then they wouldn't have any leg to stand on. And they sell bullshit. All these people have supplement lines. And if I ever get popular enough to have like my own supplement, and I wanted to have a supplement, guess what I would have? It would be a pure form of powder in a container. It'd say Swolenormous on it, and it would be citrulline malate. It would be agmatine, and it would be based on the premise: if you want to do this, if you want to take this, then here is the element. I'm not going to put fluff in it. It's not going to taste good. It's going to be that supplement. It's going to be pure. That's it. It's going to be agmatine sulfate, done. It's going to be citrulline malate, done. It's going to be BCAAs, plain, done. So it'll be just straight stuff. If you want to buy a bulk somewhere else, then do it. But I could sell a product, but it'll just be the straight product. And if you don't like the taste, then go suck down some, Crystal Light or all that crap. You don't like the taste, then don't take it. Stop being a pussy. That's my thought. You don't like the taste of something, and I say this a lot. Food is a tool, and exercise is a tool. Stop looking to these things as entertainment. Fitness is not entertainment. Fitness is not fun. Stop thinking of everything. It has to be fun. I have to have a good time. No, I went on a rant yesterday. It doesn't have to be fun. Why? It doesn't have to be fun. That's the problem, is people think it has to be fun. Vilde Magnussen. It's hard work and discipline. Yeah, it's not fun. It's not entertainment. It's hard work. And anyone that thinks it's fun, and you can enjoy it, you can love to work out, but it's hard work. If you think of it as hard work and you enjoy it, that's what you want to do. That's your passion. That's amazing. You'll see results. If you go to the gym and go to these things expecting to have fun, you want entertainment, I want to have a good time, you're in the wrong place. You're just not going to see the results that you want. You think you are. Like, I want to go to a class. I'm going to do this. Then go. It's like watching a movie. It's like watching TV. You're just wasting. You're going. You might see it's good for health. It's better than nothing, but you're not getting it. You're missing it. Fitness is not fun. Fitness is not entertainment. It can be enjoyable, but it's not fun or entertainment. You have to think about that, because we work on a word level. We work on an elementary level with how we're thinking. Your emotions come off the words that we associate with. So if you associate fun, entertainment, that's the effort you're going to put into it. That's the seriousness, and that's the results you're going to get. So I got to head out. I got to put this podcast on because I have to go do some work. But I will be on Busker at 4 p.m. for a hip opener class, and I will broadcast that. So if you want to watch hip opener, yoga, you want to do it along, download Busker for Apple, and I will see you at 4 p.m. Thanks for watching. I'll be back tomorrow, if not before. My driving while gaining, follow me here because I do like driving while gaining. I do stuff in the car, but I will be back for sure tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern time for the Game of Thrones special. The Game of Thrones, where pretty much we just talk about Game of Thrones too as part of the Q&A, so that's totally cool. For tomorrow, Daily Swole, 12 noon Eastern time, number 16, okay? So follow my Snapchat. I will be updating what the topic is. You can ask me questions on Snapchat. You can send me questions, send me suggestions for what you might want to see tomorrow. Snapchat, Swolenormous. I will see you later. Peace out. Boom.